stream? Okay.
Welcome back. Well, you might not notice my voice because I haven't been here this week. I'm next to an absolute legend, Jeremy Jones, of course. My name is Mark White, and we're coming to you live from Roberts Arena here in Ohio. And we've got another second round winners side match for you between Victor Zielinski and Mohammed Al Berjaoui. I've been practicing that, Jeremy.
Yeah, I can tell. I need to follow suit there, Mark. And it's been a consistent underhit on the lag, the guy who loses it. Both of them underhit a little bit there, but now the big man here from Lebanon to break the balls here in game number one.
Yeah, would love to ask you, what's your view on, is it important to win this lag? Because I was talking to the referee, John Lehman, and he thought it's not really much of an advantage to win the lag in this. What's your view?
Well, I mean, I think you want to win the first set, so getting to break the balls the first time. Now, with the format, I would say it's a little less than if we're playing with a template rack, right? And with the format, you know, your opponent who will break in the second set, so that evens it out a little bit as far as lagging. But yeah, I think it still matters for sure. And not only that, you get the first test, whether it's a good test or bad test, at the break.
Yeah.
You know.
And I wondered that's why that maybe they might wait and see what the first break does. I mean, the 10 went really close to the side there, I noticed.
Right. But you don't see anybody deferring the break after winning the lag, do you?
No.
So that kind of tells you a little something.
Yeah, exactly. Good point.
Okay, just come across and get straight on the 3. You can handle some distance with the 4, you know, very near, right, Mark? So.
Yeah, just running this through, right? Oh, he's missed it. I always think when somebody, almost like trying to steer the cue ball over and just forgetting about the 3 ball there. Sorry, the 2 ball.
Yeah, and you know, I wouldn't say with every one of them and not every match, but you know, the Euros, like all of us, are human, right? Very human, and I see at times maybe a little fatigue from such a long trip for these fellas. A lot of them, you know, some of them are used to it. A lot of them aren't that came over for these last 2 months.
And it's not just travelling the distance anymore. It's the difficulty of it. It's all the extra toughness at the airports. I mean, I know John Lehman his flight was cancelled, and a few of the players' flights were as well.
And, you know, the U.S. is a big country, right? So a lot of these guys have been in the car driving on the highway from tournament to tournament while they've been here in the States, you know, doing some other things. It's a great place, you know, visiting many other pool rooms, maybe getting a little side game here and there, you know. So
I was listening to you on the Joey Rowan Pool Player podcast the other night, and you was telling some stories about your times on the road, and I thought that era had sort of was disappearing, but it was nice to see Alex Kazakis, Dennis Graber, Snolnoki and Mario here out on the road, stopping off here and there, just like you were talking about.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Now, you know, they probably won't reap the rewards of the pre-internet days like we did. You know, we went gambling from town to town, and it was quite fun just not knowing who you're playing and you know, young guys getting out there and getting your feet wet. But yeah, it's nice to see. Another thing that was nice to see in Europe is seeing so many of the Euros falling in and starting to really like the one pocket. Every night after the tournament was over, they'd congregate at the pool room, play some doubles, but it kind of went from there to actually playing some serious matches. So I think the guys got a little taste of that one pocket being here for a couple months. And I think that may carry over to them playing maybe some tournaments in the future. But now Mohammed here in a good spot to get started. Saw him play a little bit in Vegas, I guess it was.
Yeah, he was in Vegas. Nice stroke.
Yeah, first time I put my eyes on the man, and yeah, good stroke, good cueing, and
I had a little word with him, and I asked him his Fargorate, and he was almost a little embarrassed to say so. 704. I think that's pretty good, right?
Right.
I'm about a 404.
Well, yeah, that's a pretty good spot, and also it should climb. This is along with a lot of these other guys. Exactly what he came here to do is get his feet wet, play a lot.
That's a bad miss.
Yeah, I didn't expect that.
No.
Maybe just took his eye off of it, really playing the cue ball.
Victor Zielinski from Poznan in Poland, Fargo 799, so quite a bit higher, 20 years old only, and one of many Polish players always finishing towards the business end of tournaments.
Yeah.
And there's so many coming out there, I think they should rename Poland Poolland.
Yeah, right.
There's so many of them.
Well, it's probably the top country in Europe as far as so many players that are in the top ranked between all those tough players and countries that seem like producing more players. But
yeah, absolutely.
I've said it for a few years. I think Poland's the #1 country in Europe for pool. Not the top player, but
yeah, but more of them.
Right.
Strength in numbers, and they all stick together as well. They've been on a road trip as well around the New York and that just recently, driving around. So there we go. First rack then. So talking about Europeans, obviously I'm not going to go on about this too much because I'm sure you get asked and talked about it all the time. The Mosconi Cup, of course, is coming up. I'm going back to England just in time. I'm going to be at Alexandra Palace as well. Unfortunately not in the booth with you.
I won't be in the booth anyway.
Oh, you won't? You won't?
No.
No, of course not, because you can't,
working,
can you?
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. So my question is, I'm not going to ask you about the American team. If you were the European Mosconi team captain, who would be your pick?
Ooh.
And I really have put him on the spot here.
Yeah, right. Well, we know 2 are down with Albin and Al-Kaidi.
Yeah.
And you got to believe Shaw's going to be there.
Who do you leave out?
I know. Well, I think it'd be hard for me to pass on Kachi. It's just, 18 wasn't his debut, wasn't his best, but since then he's played super solid, and he's a guy that's just playing great all the time. He's had a great win at the World 10 Ball. Hard guy to leave off.
Won last week in Austria as well, of course.
Yeah, in Austria as well.
And he's really has come of age, I think, since that last Mosconi appearance.
Well, I think he actually consciously helped try to improve his technique. He was a little bit so talented with his frame and the straightness of the stroke, but he was a little bit hitty at times, a little bit quick. I think he consciously tried to get a little smoother.
Yeah.
I think the Mosconi may have had something to do with that, because that technique, that real hitty technique, is not one that adds up that well on the Mosconi. Now, these guys are cream of the crop, so they do it a little bit better than others. Then you come down to probably Kazakis, he won the World
Masters,
the Whirlpool Masters.
Yeah.
Hard not to recognize that. Josh Filler, though, won the World Cup of Pool. Hard not to recognize that. And then you got a guy that's maybe him and Kachi, the 2 most consistent players in Europe, Fargorate.
How'd you leave him out? 3 finals in South Carolina recently as well. The one pocket, banks, and mixed doubles.
Yeah, but you're going to have to leave one of them out.
Yeah.
And I don't know. On paper, just saying, who's had the year to be there, because it is all so close. I guess you would probably have to leave Shaw out, even though I don't think that's going to happen. Being right there in the UK, I think that's a credit to their team, having Shaw and, of course, reigning MVP and a guy that can take over matches. So I don't think he's going to be left out. I think it's going to be 2 spots between Kachi, Filler, and Federer. That's what I look at. I think Kazakis, unfortunately, as great as he is, a couple of past performances in the Mosconi Cup is going to get looked at, and it should get looked at, especially with such a tough decision for Alex and Carl. So, not to really give you a defining moment on who I'm leaving out, let's just say the final 2 spots, in my opinion, are going to be between Kachi, Filler, and
Federer. Yeah. Right, sorry to distract you with the Mosconi. I promise it won't happen again, not during this match anyway. So 2 beautiful shots there, the 2 and the 3, 2 beautiful strokes. So
Yeah.
and a little bit straight on this, Jeremy, is he? What's he going to do
Yeah,
here?
and he's near the rail. He looked at the gap between the 7-5, but after making 2 nice shots, again, if you remind yourself how good you are, you come and make sure you don't get snookered. I like this play right here. Take a little thinner. The 7's over the side, so you can handle a little distance on the 6. You know, looking ahead, Mark, at balls beyond the 6 really make a huge difference on making sound decisions. You know, if the 7's pinned somewhere where he's really got to get great on the 6, now things may change, but you can handle this extra distance here on the 6 because the 7's over the side.
Yeah,
so.
a little bit straight, a little bit off straight, doesn't really matter on the
Yeah,
shot,
yeah,
right?
as long as
Anywhere.
you can cue pretty well.
Yeah.
And like I said, now if the 7's over on the side rail, back on this bottom rail here near the 10 or something, well, things change. But well, I tell you what, he looks pretty calm.
Yeah, I like the way he walks around the table. It's got nice rhythm.
Yeah, and I don't know the young man, but I bet if you asked him, he's, you know, I don't think he's probably left the States, gone back to Lebanon and then made the trip back. So he probably has felt like he's improved these last couple of months.
Yeah. And they are all practicing very hard, these guys. They're all sort of sticking together. Now, there's a nice camaraderie and a like a big family on these tours around.
Yeah.
Until it gets on the table, of course.
Yeah.
And then they want to kill each other. Okay, we'll be back with the conclusion of the first set right after the break. Welcome back to Roberts Arena here in Ohio for the CSI Predator US Pro Billiard Series, stop number 4 on the calendar. Reigning champion Aloysius Yap lost on the winner's side last night, but he gets another chance. And we're back here, we're all square. Zielinski versus Berjaoui.
Well, I'll tell you, a nice break off there. Really squatted the cue ball, the 9 and 5. Well, yeah, I think they're in the way there, it looks like.
Just for a moment, it looked like he might have a little gap. And then you walk to this, oh, down goes the heart.
And he's looking at it like there is a little interest in getting at it. And it may just be enough to make it. We'll see. A 310 looming, right?
Yeah.
Wow. This is, may have to swerve this a hair with a hair of right English.
Wow, this is tight.
Yeah, that looked tight to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what happens is if you're putting a little right, sometimes you, like right there, he didn't quite go through the ball, so it curved a little early on him.
Yeah. As Tony Robles would say, you can fit one truck through there, but not two.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and Daniel Schneider, you brought up Yap's loss last night. Hats off to him. He's really putting in the effort, putting in the time, and he's getting some results. And not always with wins. He's just playing everyone tough, though, and that's the start to really starting to improve. It's not all about looking at the finish line winning, but you know.
Well, it's a quick rack after such a great break. Just goes to show you, if you haven't got a shot at the one ball, maybe safety is a better part of valor there, or a kick somewhere. Oh, sorry, a push, yeah. So 2-1 then to Zielinski.
Zielinski, another solid player from Poland, of course. And they all seem to have a nice build for the game. Not all of them are super tall like Zielinski, though, but very athletic.
Yeah, slender.
Yeah,
slim,
exactly, yeah.
Sort of Albin Ocean-esque almost, you know, that slim fit.
Yeah, and a wingspan means something in my mind. I think it's just mathematically. You can do things a little easier if you're a little longer. You know, the stroke means a lot.
Yeah. Jumping is made a little bit easier as well, of course. And he is actually a Euro Tour winner. And we all know how difficult they are to win. Won Treviso.
Now breaking from the side rail. Now this table is really lent making balls today. Yesterday, not so much.
The 10 was going close there for a minute. Moving again.
It may get real close here in a moment. Especially with the two locked up. You're playing this no matter what. But I wonder how much he watched previous matches, because the center table break, which is a break that all the guys will use when we use the template, right?
Yeah.
That's the break in 10 ball. But this table has really made a lot of balls using the center table break today.
What's been going, the four railer or the?
Both the side balls. Oh, he's overcut this badly.
Wow.
And that's amazing, because he could have used a little rail first on the one to pocket it, but he hit the top side of the 10. So, all right, go into the 2 aggressively a little bit. Not super hard, but a little bit when you play the safety here. I go behind the 2, not the 10. The 2, you can bump the ball with the 6 connected there.
It's going to stop it dead, right?
Yeah, this is much touchier now. He may hit it really nice, but not only that, if you're not afraid to go into the second rail behind the 10 and bump it a little bit, well, now you dislodge a problem with the 2 ball.
Yeah,
so you're
exactly.
doing a couple of things with the shot.
Yeah, good point.
And I think he hits his mark a little bit more often too, Mark. Nice safety there by Zielinski.
Are you a big fan of the safety game?
Well, I mean, it's part of the game. Don't get me wrong. It's you know, I'm pretty good at it.
Always helps.
Yeah, but you know, the better players, they stay aggressive. You know, so of course we're going to see some safeties, but they do at all cost. Try not to play the safety if they can help it without, you know, let's not go overboard and get crazy with the shot, trying to avoid having to play safe. Now, that's one thing I saw in the last match on a few shots with Danny Olson. I thought he played safe in a couple spots to where he needed to shoot. You know,
yeah.
At this level, very hard to play safe through the rack, trying to win with safety. Let's say that. Now, you have to play safeties, but you can't sit here and plan on, every game I'm going to play a safety and win a rack against these guys. You're going to have to sit them down a little bit.
And the kicking is so good now, and jumping is so good. The safety's got to be so spot on. A containing safety isn't enough.
Right. And that's, you know, a lot of times when you play safe, it's trying to improve your position. You're not very realistic at this level getting ball in hand. You know, you don't like the shot. Let me play safe. Maybe I get a better shot on the next.
He's got a double kiss there. Now then,
ooh,
can he draw into this six?
Pretty close. Pretty close.
This is one of those really get the cue all the way through, and
that's right.
Nice smooth stroke.
Right. If you overhit it, it doesn't grab quick enough to hit this line we're on here. But if you smooth it, it's there.
Yeah, and he's overdone it, concentrating on the carom rather than the pot game. And talking of safety, he's had a result there.
Yeah, this is going to be a difficult hit here. He's going to have to make a heavy swerve around the 10. And he should try it with the 2 locked up. Yeah, exactly. Now, the problem with this is you can't get any steam on it. You can't get any power jacked up and going into this short bottom rail. So you may hit the 1, but you're not going to separate balls. You're not going to do much with it. Better off to play the swerve or this 3 rail kick. This is a sweet shot to watch. I don't mind this at all. Anything he can get a little speed.
Yeah, I want separation, yeah.
Watch his shirt now over the 2 ball. Okay, he's all right. Yeah, I don't see the likes of this. See how the speed it's coming in? Now, maybe you don't give up ball in hand, which there is some value in that, but you're definitely not going to get a snooker or separate the balls.
His only chance really was to knock it onto that short rail, but then he was going to be in trouble after the next shot anyway. As you say, needs to go with some power somewhere.
I mean, look at breaking these out.
I mean, he's going for the safety here. Look.
Yeah, he's going to try and attempt a 3 foul or maybe bring the 1 on the 10 for an early win. Maybe even try to get ball in hand and shoot the 1 and break out the 2 here in a moment. But really nice with the cue ball. So the 110 is.
That's a clever shot, right?
Yeah.
He has to hit this now.
Well, he's going to probably try and tear the 10 away with the 9. I don't see the hit happening, period. So he's going to try and shoot through the 9. But the thing is, he's going to be on 2 fouls. Okay.
And he might have still left the 10. No, he hasn't.
Not too bad, but like I said,
I think he's going to be behind this 2 ball now.
Could
what
be,
do you reckon?
Yeah. This is where you got to play a pretty tricky shot, though, to really get the safety, to get the ball in hand. He's going to play the 110.
Wow.
He likes it.
What's the percentage here?
Yeah, I wonder if he realized.
I like this shot.
Yeah, I wonder if he realized he's on 2 fouls. I bet he has.
Does the referee warn them?
That I don't know. I think John is a referee. How do they label it? There to be called upon,
right,
but not be in the match the entire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's up to the players. So.
Yeah. He's going for it, as you say, Jeremy.
Yeah, the 1 may come back and kiss the cue ball if he makes it. Oh, he hit it easy. Okay, nice shot.
Wow.
I thought he would shoot that a little bit.
Went all out for it. Okay, we'll be back with some more drama right after this.
Well, there for a while, that was a hot spot for people going to get some games. Yeah. 3-1, right? 3-1, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Is that new? I didn't see that before.
Yeah, I didn't either.
No. They're spoiling us.
Yeah, that's good. Now we just need another shot clock we can see up.
Yeah.
They only have 1, right? The 1 right here?
Yeah. We're close to it, but we can't quite see it. Welcome back to Roberts Arena, and well, we're playing 10 ball, but we've had a few, or at least a couple of early 10s, Jeremy. 3-1 to the pole at the moment on the hill.
Yeah, still sticking to that side rail break, and like I said, maybe didn't take a look at some earlier matches on this table that I saw what would be the traditional 10-ball break from out in the center really lead towards making a lot of balls. We'll see how that continues for Zielinski. But
nice starter on the 1, but there's a bit of traffic to get on this 2. What, are you coming over to the side rail? Or where are you
between
going?
the 8-9, I think, is where he goes. Oh, so these 4 1/4 inch pockets, not easy.
Just trying to nick a little bit to straighten it, wasn't it? Wasn't to hold the cue ball straight away.
Yeah, I think if he hits it light, smooth, you might say, all right, he's going to draw it. So maybe into the 10 a little bit, into the 8, like that.
Oh, beautiful.
Got a little funny here.
I love that saying of yours. You got a little bit funny.
Little off.
A little off, yeah. And what's all this I hear about you using English terminology? I mean, I've come over here trying to learn the American terminology for draw and English, and you're using screw instead of draw.
Right. The ball kicked a little bit.
Yeah.
Stuff
Didn't
like that.
skid or slide.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe being in at the U.S. Open, working with a few of the guys, and I don't even consciously do it, to be honest with you. It just kind of comes out. So I like the terms the English use, the ball kicking and screwing the ball back, and never anybody better to hear Sid Waddell.
My favourite of all time, apart from you, of course. But
well,
you two together are you two together is the perfect
I got to work
combination.
With him a few times.
I listened to when I knew I might be working with you this week. I YouTubed, of course, and listened to you a little bit.
Oh, wow. Okay.
A little bit more than I usually do, shall I say?
Yeah, well, some of the first commentary I ever did was with Sid, and man, what a treat.
He certainly had some great one-liners.
Yeah, and he knew what was going on too. It wasn't like he was naive to the game or the players or any of that. So
I think he could commentate on anything.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure he did a lot of sports.
Yeah.
Okay, watch the cue ball off the table, short jump, try to get it down quickly.
Wow.
Miscue, and that's from stretching over the table.
Yeah, didn't get up, did he?
Mm-mm.
So ball in hand. Well,
should be okay. Probably short side on the 6, maybe. He could open the 6 here if he wanted, just because everything was so easy. He could have.
Yeah, that was a no. I like that shot.
Yeah, he could have
Missed
shot
trick,
the 3
maybe.
and bump the 6 open a little bit. So
yeah.
Just because the 4 or 5 are so easy. Now he's gotten a little more angle on the 5 than maybe desired. We'll see if he can hold short side or if he comes up above it. A little heavy.
Yeah, stayed short side, as you said.
Good thing is it's just straight high ball. Takes me for the 7 in the side. Actually got to watch him quite a bit in Vegas, Zielinski.
Oh, just made it.
Yeah, he caught a little thick to the pocket, so that usually costs you about a foot of cue ball travel. So you can see about a foot or so short here. Can he just... that's going to be thick as well. Oh, it slid in, though. Pocket speed, they say, Mark. That's an American term.
Pocket speed, I'm going to remember that.
All right, he's in a good spot.
Yeah, perfect on the 9.
Yeah.
So this for the first set. How quick a game can change.
That's right.
Incredible. And in it goes. So we will be back for the next set right after this break. See you soon. Welcome back to the second set here in Roberts Arena in Ohio. I'm very, very delighted that I'm joining Jeremy Jones in the commentary booth. Oh, one straight in the corner.
Watch out for the 10. The 10 does count.
Oh! How close was that 5 to the 10?
Yeah. We've seen a few. We've seen a few in the sides. Seems like when it comes to the corners, the 10 wants to go towards this corner a bit more than the others, but I like the 10 on the break. I like the old rules.
Now, you asked me a question.
Stubborn about it.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, come on, there's a bit of history to it as well, right?
Right.
We don't want to lose everything.
All right, that's got to settle a little bit. Okay, that's just going to be just fine for him to play a 5-10 here in a moment.
Yeah, it's Combo City at the moment.
I think it's playable. Now the 10's on the point a little bit. So these are 4 1/4-inch pockets. Oh, that's too much. He's going to have to play the 5. Unless he double kisses this in, I think he's gone too far.
They're going to have to rename Ohio Combio, I think.
All right. Yeah, I think this double kisses in. I don't know if he can get enough 5 to hit it clean. Yeah, like
he's just made it. It just dropped. Wow. So takes the first rack in the second set. And just to let you know, all the brackets are up online. Go to, I've got to find it now. Where is it? Oh, yes, it's playcsipool.com. All the information you need there, all the brackets, and a little bit about all the players that are involved.
Yeah, schedules for events. Just pretty much anything you want to look at for not only these pro events, but the amateur events that go alongside it. They're open to any of the members. You don't have to be from Ohio, that's for sure. You can travel right along. Daniel Schneider, who defeated Yap and is playing great, he plays in he plays in both of these.
Really?
Yeah, because his Fargo allows him to. Now, like in Vegas, he made a deep run. And in one of the amateur events, or the 7-foot events, let's say that, and was still in the main event in the diamond, and he had to make a choice on which one I'm going to continue playing on because he had run so deep, and so he had to, unfortunately, I think, forfeit one of the events. But yeah, don't hesitate if you're not that far away and you want to see some of the greatest players in the world, and also playing an event or two yourself, right? So
yeah, and it's great. You can mix with the pros, and they'll give you little tips. I saw some amateurs playing with the pros last night on the 7-foots, having a bit of fun. 4 in the side.
Looks like the 1's covered up. I'm kind of looking right at it.
Look at that 10 again.
10 lean a little bit. The 9's been spinning, and now finally settles. And difficult rollout here.
So this is the last one of the year. We were going to go to Puerto Rico, yeah. I believe, but that's not going to happen. It's been postponed till next year. So
right,
we're going to see you in Tucson.
I believe so. I have to look
January?
at what 2022 looks like, of course. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun here doing these events. Really.
So how much are you actually playing at the moment? I know
Not much
you
at all.
You love one pocket, right?
Yeah, just between this and the teaching mainly. I teach more than anything, so not a whole lot. Probably 5 or 6 events a year. U.S. Open, some stuff locally back home, and a few one-pocket events. I really enjoy that game. It's a game that even if you're not playing a ton, you can still defend yourself a little bit. But it does matter in that I'm surprised he passed this. Now he had a foul on a jump shot, maybe in his last turn when he tried to jump.
Yeah,
that
and
free
it was
ball,
over.
right?
It was over the 8 ball as well. So perhaps he doesn't like that ball at the moment.
Right, but I mean, this is stop your ball and you have shape. So a lot of times.
Wow.
Yeah, great shot there by Zielinski, but a lot of times the players these days, even years ago. We wouldn't pass that jump shot maybe with the jump cue, if you're allowed the jump cue.
How was your jumping? Are you good with the jump stick?
It was
Do you like it?
I don't practice it enough. I didn't practice it enough when I did play. I played a lot of tournaments, a lot of tours where we had to jump with the full cue. and I was really good at that. So it's funny. I wasn't terrible with the jump cue, but I would call myself terrible in today's comparisons to what some of the, like that. He made that look very, very easy, right?
Would you prefer to teach kicking or jumping?
Well,
or both, a little bit.
Yeah,
of both.
You better have both.
Yeah,
you
nowadays,
better have both.
yeah.
That's for sure. I think you can get away with learning the kicking. You better have the jumping pretty quick. So it seems to be something.
Kicking comes with experience, right? Jumping comes with practice.
Exactly. Yeah, jumping's a little bit more. How do you say?
Predictable.
Well, predictable is a good way to put it, but just right in front of you. Meaning you understand quickly. I can take somebody from the audience and say, hey, I'm going to jump over this and make that. We're kicking, the balls have to lay a certain way, and they get in so many different positions. Everything changes a little bit easily, so there's a lot of nuances, I guess you could say, that are
nice word.
That are difficult. Yeah, right. It's a big one for me.
It's a very big one. This is not just a pool lesson from Jeremy Jones. This is also an English lesson.
Yeah. All right. Good cue ball there, and Zielinski. And another thing that I was thinking about with that jump shot with Mohammed is you have to realize how good your opponent is jumping the ball as well, or most of the opponents today. So I think especially needing to get something going, he maybe should have taken that jump on. And not just saying that in hindsight, just really, you know how it is. You see these guys, Mark, they kind of want to take over the game sometimes, and you have to have an opportunity to do that.
Yeah, so this 10 then for a 2-0 lead in the second set, one in the first. We'll be back very, very soon. Welcome back to Roberts Arena. You might be able to hear a little bit of an announcement going on in the background. That's because we are also holding the Ohio State Championships here alongside the CSI Predator US Pro Billiard Series. And that's nice 40 tables plus 40 little 7-foots plus these 5 9-footers, I should say, Jeremy. 5-footers? I've never seen a 5-footer of you.
They do
it's about the only size they don't make, isn't it?
They do have 6-footers in the States, yeah. Is the English 8-ball, is that a 6-footer as well?
6-footer as well, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. They make a 7-footer, of course, and then there's lots of little variations from company to company. Some of them they call oversized 8-footer. Like Texas is known for 8-footers a lot.
Yeah, somebody was saying about oversized 8-footers. How big are they then?
Well, it's just a little bit different than the standard, I guess. A little more than 8 feet, just because there's so many different makers, right?
So we are definitely playing on 9-footers, and they are Predator tables. They're Predator Arcos 2 balls, of course.
Right.
And the beautiful Predator light. I mean, I'm a real fan of these lights. I mean, I helped put these up, you know. I've been here since the start.
Yeah. They're sweet, and the cloth as well, this Predator. 4 1/4 inch pockets. Nothing easy. I think he's got a sliver here, Mark.
Yeah. Can he hold it?
No. He's
No,
got
it's
to
going round.
let
He's
her run
caught,
a little bit.
just caught that knuckle, we say. I don't know what you say.
Point.
Point.
Yeah. There's a few other words that you can
Yeah,
call
I
it.
know. I've heard Billy Thorpe use them.
Touchy little safety here. Not really any kind of guarantee. It doesn't look like, anyways. Queuing down on it, maybe
Almost
dragging
like
the
drag
cue.
it. Yeah, I love that drag shot. It's a big shot in snooker, that drag shot. Didn't really attack it enough, though. Dollied it a little bit.
Yeah, it's a good thing for Berjaoui is the 4 doesn't pass the 6, so maybe difficult for Zielinski to take this 3 on, knowing that. But
Play the combo.
yeah, I mean, it lays okay to go back and forth and sit pretty nice on the combo, even though he'll be some distance away from it, but not bad. That was a nice stroke there. He's going to get there.
Beautiful. Needs to. He has. I always like to be straighter behind these, though, so you can see all 3. You know, you can see the cue ball and the 2 balls, right?
Anything you give the brain a little more information, you're going to be better at, right? So he might play him behind the 6 here. Watch out for the 4 nearing the 10, though. Oh. He was trying to play a real touch shot there.
Yeah, didn't touch it quite hard enough.
No, but he's still stuck with a tough decision here just because he's got a tough shot. He's going towards the 5 with the cue ball. But this is the type, you know, you can turn the set around if you bury this type of long shot, get yourself going.
That's what I love about this format. One game, one shot even, as we saw in the last match with Mika Immonen when he missed the 6 ball.
Right.
And, you know, it changed the whole concept of the match. Just went through on a shootout in the end.
Yeah, what happened with that match is, you know, Danny didn't play his best, but like you said, kind of got a little wake-up call after Mika not really sealing the deal there with a few games, and Mika made a couple great banks to really try and win that last game. I thought he was going to get out, but like you said, the inside English kind of got away from him a little bit on that 6 ball.
Yeah.
Playing the kiss shot.
Another touchy little shot. Played it
That's
well.
that drag shot you were talking about.
I
drag
love
stroke.
that.
Yeah.
We use it a lot in snooker because obviously the longer table, we can slow the cue ball down but still play it with pace.
Right.
So you're not going to let the nap take the cue ball away.
Yeah, what happens with that is you're not guiding the stroke. You know, you're kind of letting the stroke go still.
Yeah.
Like a lot more of what you're used to doing. Not sure what he's doing now.
I think he can run. Has he not got an angle to run through this?
Yeah, he can go through. The 7 doesn't go by the 10. He can play the 7 in either side. I don't know if he can get for the side by the 8, but
or even in
for
the
the
corner,
lower right-hand
maybe.
corner, he can definitely get there. Wow, he decided to let
Oh,
the
he's
stroke
really hit.
out.
Oh, where's the cue ball? He's okay. There's a little. You're talking about Sid Waddell. That was a little bit of John Virgo. You know, have you heard of John Virgo, the great snooker commentator? Actually retiring this year after about, I don't know, 50 years or something.
Is it that long?
Yeah, well, something like that. I think it's the 70s. Yeah. Oh, and that's a bad miss.
Yeah, and sometimes just like Berjaoui could have knocked that 4 in, a ball missed by your opponent can turn things around as well.
And it's nice to see him still wearing the Black Widow shirt.
Yeah, I saw that in Vegas, actually. Good to see her back out in South Carolina a couple weeks ago.
Wasn't it fabulous?
Yeah, absolutely fabulous. Looked
Absolutely
like she
great.
had a ball being there as well. So I was really, just because of that, to be honest with you, I was very upset that I wasn't going to be able to make the tournament. If I'd have known that ahead of time that she was going to be there, I might have
rescheduled.
Yeah, tried to change my plans a little bit. Now I'm going to end up with a very long shot on the 10, and none so more important than the one in front of you, Mark, right? This is to cut the score line.
This changes the whole concept of the match. He'll be breaking to go 2-2, of course, if he knocks this 10 in, and he's made it. In it goes.
kind of
So yeah, let's
at home,
let's
right?
just have a little chat about Jeanette Lee then while we're on while John sorts the racks out. As you say, it was great to see her there, and it just shows you the willpower and the love for the game that she has. And we all know her situation that she's in at the moment, but with so much love, and to see her there, and I never realised, because as I told you off air, I only really came into pool in about 2014, so I missed probably her best years,
Right.
and I've been catching up and watching her, and what a legend of the game she is. I mean, she was amazing. How much she done for women's pool as well, of course.
Yeah, she was really somebody who transcended the game on the women's side, but one of the fiercest competitors. I mean, on paper, she wasn't always the favorite, playing some of those Young Kims and Allison Fishers and different ones, and she'd fight through it, even though it didn't seem like, she was off doing more business stuff and whatnot, maybe not playing as much as the other ladies, but when she got in the arena, it was something else. And, Jeanette,
almost like a female Eklund Catchy, you could say, like a bully on the table in a nice way.
No, in a nice way.
Yeah,
and it's something that you don't really, you wouldn't think as
you wouldn't
much.
Expect that, would you?
Yeah. She was a very nice looking lady. Still a very nice looking lady that did a lot for the sport. A lady that could play that well, but you would never expect such a fierce competitor, right?
No.
And then also she was. What a lot of people don't realize is, she put herself in such a good position, business-wise, and along with playing so great, that she felt a little untouchable probably to some people, but it's quite the opposite with Jeanette. She's a great people person, and I think that's what took her to South Carolina as much as anything, is to see her mates, see her friends and her peers and the people that she loves, and it was
great to see her play Allison as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was great as
the
well.
Old rivalry.
She's a competitor, and I know she knows that her game wasn't there to really go there and try and compete, but there were a lot of things going on, and I was just so happy to see her be able to go.
I just watched that push there. I think Berjaoui was trying to tie that 2-ball up.
Yeah, he's left a pretty open cue ball, though, yeah. Can't quite shave this
bank it here or not?
Ball. Yeah, maybe. I'm trying to see if there's any kind of kiss shot that's kind of dead in that side that's really kind of not missable, and I don't really see that. So, that's a nice touch.
Oh, he hasn't got there though. I don't think. Has he got there? I don't think he has.
You're right.
He's just bumped into it. Just need a little bit more right-hand English on it. A bit of spin just to widen the angle.
It wasn't going to be a tough kick shot either way, but. All right, so we talked about it. A few things could turn around quickly. Nice shot with the outside spin.
Wins this rack, then he's on the hill for the set. Then we go to a shootout, Jeremy.
Right.
And they're exciting, aren't they?
Well, I talked about it in the last match, that just thinking about this format in different perspectives. Mika won that first set in the last match, but from there, his opponent, could maybe kind of free swing, knowing that, I'm trying to get to the shootout where everyone else is trying to avoid the shootout. So, Mika, after winning the first set, could look at it like, man, all right, I got the first set. I got to try and get this second set to avoid this shootout. And we saw a couple pressure moments where Mika had a couple mistakes. So I'm not so sure it's not hard on both guys, no matter you win the first set or not.
Yeah, he's come a little bit short here, hasn't he?
A little bit's an understatement, I think. Now he's got to have really good speed here on this, going back and forth. He's playing with outside. He's trying to come back past the 6. So it makes it missable.
Yeah.
He hit it sweet, though.
Oh, he's hit it beautifully, hasn't he? It's nice, talking about Mika, it's nice to see him back playing to some level again,
Well, I don't think he's just trying to participate.
No.
I think he's trying to get his game back to where it was.
Absolutely right.
And he's a guy that, probably one of the most feared players in the history of the game, meaning when he was in his prime, he was a guy that just sits you down to where you didn't really have much to say about the match at all.
There's a lovely saying I'm sure you're familiar with it, that goes class is permanent, form is temporary.
Right.
And he really is a class act, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
So this 10 ball then, and then we'll be going for a short break, but it's going to be 2-2. It's getting more and more dramatic as we go. We'll be back soon. And we are back to the Fargorate Ohio Open here in Roberts Arena. And we're having a lot of fun here, Jeremy, aren't we?
We sure are, and making a little comeback here in set number 2. He went to the side rail break. That's interesting now. Looks like the 8 goes down in the side. The 1's going to track to the bottom rail. Ew, and the 9 just, in an ugly manner, I think has cut him off the 1 here, Mark.
So you're obviously there's a push on, is it? Or can he just he get rail first here and just flick that in?
He could try. It's harder on the TV table, this shot. It's slick, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't grab that English quite as much. You can actually, I've seen many great players whiff the entire ball, trying to play rail first with a lot of side spin, trying to make this ball on the slick table. I like him rolling out.
Yeah. That's just the crazy part of me coming out. I'm
I'm
a very attacking player. You know?
of course. You know, if he was left with that, without the push-out option, that's what he's doing. He's trying to go to the rail. And I'll tell you, I've always been stubborn on rules, and I think this is a good pass. I hate to pass the roll out, but that's the one rule I would entertain maybe changing is no roll-out. I mean, it's one of my specialties is the rollout. I'm good at it, and I can, let's say, break down the percentages on, should I pass it or not, or what my opponent does, knowing my opponent. But I wouldn't mind seeing that we just went to no rollout after the break. See right there? He tried to play a rail first, and he whiffed the entire ball. Just doesn't grab on the slick new felt like it does maybe your pool room table. So.
Yeah.
But that is one rule that I may entertain changing if I ran a tournament, just no rollout after the break period.
Oh, here you go.
It would make for some great shots. I think kick shots, jump shots, and I think your average fan that may take a liking to the game, it may be a little easier for them to understand. Hate to take away the beauty of the rollout. There is some interesting and great things that go along with it, but I don't think that's a bad idea myself.
Anything else you'd like to change?
No, I've said it a bunch of times. I'm one of those guys that believe I'm probably not near as smart as the guys that invented this great game 200 years ago or whatever. So
Yeah.
I don't think I could come up with a game like this. You know, oh, let me invent a sport. Okay, that might take me the rest of my life.
How do you even come up with it? Well, it came really from
from
croquet,
other sports,
right?
right? But still, it's this. Still, though, it's still
But
pretty
who invented
amazing,
that?
right?
That was still an invented sport, right?
Yeah, and the rules are different, but they all kind of make sense, right?
They just had no internet or TV back in those days,
right.
so they had to do something, right? So that makes you more creative.
Well, the inventor, when the wheel was invented, we all had a chance, I think it was.
Yeah.
Made it to where things started to progress.
Things really got rolling after that.
Yeah, there you go. Nice one there, Mark. All right.
So back to the seriousness then.
I don't think, I was about to say, I don't think he can get that great on the 5-ball. Now, he got all the way to the end rail because he hit the 4 thick. You know, if he hits the 4 more towards the hole, he's about where the head string is. So.
Yeah. So 2-2, anyone's now. And as you say, having won that first set, it's no real advantage, is it? Because you're still...
Yeah, still a lot of
all
pressure.
right, you're guaranteed at least a shootout if you win the first one.
Sure.
You're guaranteed. But he's looking a little bit anxious there now. He was sailing.
Yeah, well, they just had the camera on Zielinski, and he's doesn't look like he's just totally happy about the last few games, that's for sure. I didn't realize he was ranked that high in the Fargo. 20 years old, you said?
Yeah, 20.
799, is that what you said?
Yeah, that's what it says on the list.
Wow, that would put him top 25 in the world, I believe. Something like that. All right, then 4 to the side. The 5 does play in the corner.
In the side, little bit of an acute angle in the side, but are you dragging this one in? Just
Yeah.
bounce off the side, Ralph.
Oh, he kind of missed it again. So.
Wow.
Yeah, and these aren't like little bit misses. That hit quite a bit before the side, you know.
Or did he play the safety?
No.
No?
5 goes, yeah. I don't think so, anyways. Could have been.
Perhaps he's left him another jump.
Yeah. Well, you asked earlier about how well I like the safety. I mean, that's a part of the game that's got to be played and respected, but these guys try to play offense, you know, just like snooker, right?
Yeah, it's
mean,
the
you
first
see-
thought. Nowadays, the game has changed over the last few years with people like Judd Trump,
Yeah, well, I still think even the
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
upper echelon guys were
Yeah.
always the aggressive ones.
Yeah,
anyways.
yeah.
You know, the guys that really win the big tournaments and most of them.
we had a great saying in the old days, you can play as much safety as you want, but when you're left to pot, if you can't pot the balls, you're never going to win.
That's right.
Or when he hasn't got there.
Yeah, no, that could be from a couple, more than a couple of little, you know, what I call easy mistakes that maybe has gotten Oliver a little bit.
Yeah, I think that miss a couple of racks ago got to him
Yeah.
in the first, I think it was the second rack of this set.
Did I say Oliver? I meant Zielinski, excuse me.
I know who you mean. We know who you mean.
Yeah. It looks
He's
like
another great player, though,
Yeah.
Oliver Schnolnocki.
Yeah.
Terrific player. And what a great story is that, winning the 7'9" ball competition in South Carolina, first time he'd ever played on a ball box.
Yeah, he played great too.
Oh,
And
look
he's
at
here
this.
as well, and that was
Look
called.
at that for a shot.
Yeah, that was called there. A great shot.
Wow. So should be out here, I think. Is the 10 looking a bit big here?
Just the thing is, you just got to take the distance on the 7. There's no real problem here unless you feel like you have to get close to the 7. Then you can make a problem. I think he can get around the 10 easily.
Okay.
Yeah, you just got to take a little
Yeah,
distance on the 7 is all. Now he could have worked the cue ball up another 2 feet, going closer to the 7, make cueing a little bit better, make yourself a little bit more accurate. Yeah, I was pretty impressed. And I watched Oliver also in Vegas, but
He done very well in the last event in
Michigan.
Michigan, yeah, done
Oh
very
no!
well.
Look at this. What a
Finished quarterfinals. Oh, he's had a
wow!
result there. It just caught the point.
It looks like half the cue ball is beyond the point as well. This is no easy shot when you have to work the cue ball this cueing like this. Now, Oliver, I'll get back to the main game here, but man, he looks about 14 to me, Oliver does. I don't know how old he is, but no. Zielinski to take another 3-2 lead.
So, yeah, he'll be happy to get that rack because he was just starting to lose it a little bit. Just went off the boil, shall we say. So this is the loser's side, second round, and it's double elimination until we reach the final 16. Top 8 from the loser's side go through, I believe, and the top 8 from the
winner's side.
The winners, and then it's a redraw, right?
That's right. The records are raced. I believe they do have it set up where, you know, if you come from the one loss, you will draw into an undefeated player, which most tournaments do that.
Yeah.
It's not like, you know, mathematically long term, that does give you a little advantage. It doesn't have to. We're going to see a lot of great players get on the one loss side and go on to play another great player in that final 16. But if you think of a long-term process, if you stay undefeated, most of the time you're going to play a little bit lighter player, a little bit, you know, not as great a player from coming from the one-loss side. So you want to stay undefeated. Like Yap, for instance, if he goes on, one of the last 8 are going to draw him from the undefeated. So it's not a guarantee that you draw a nice one there early, and it's the final 16, so they're all going to be playing great.
Yeah, and Yap, of course, he's on the one-loss side as well already.
Well, we'll see how he's feeling. If he wants to stop the cue ball and take the shot on the 2, that's what I would do, I think. I don't know if I like going down straight and trying to fall in that gap between the 3-6 to cut the 2 in the side. At least if he knocks this one ball in and then takes the tough shot on the 2, he has guaranteed shape on the 3, and then the rack's probably over along with the match.
Yeah, there you see, digging down, played it well. Feeling confident then, Jeremy?
Yeah, I like his chances. And the good thing about this is it's not going to be super light, but it's going to be at the speed that opens up the pocket on the slick table a little bit. You know, he doesn't have to jam this at all. Just very natural to come across. He's overcut it. Wow. Oh. And a bit of upset there, you could see.
I will say this about the Polish players. They're very passionate about their game.
Yeah.
I saw Konrad Jusicin. He went to the loser side a little bit earlier on.
Yeah, he just lost earlier in the shootout to Jeremy Sose. All right, nice cue ball there. He kind of had to let the 2 go, trying to get the cue ball back behind the 8. Yeah, I think it's Fortunski is one you could call out that I think has matured a little bit, and I think is going to serve a lot of success for him, as great a player as he is. Played him a couple times a few years ago, and that's going to be nice there.
That's a nice shot, right? Played that really well.
Yeah, and you know, he made a mistake or he got a little bit of a bad roll, and it really cost him a couple games. His attitude, it seemed to, you know, so there's nothing wrong with some passion. No. But you do have
must be a controlled aggression, I like to call it.
You got to know yourself, you know, so.
The Butcher is another one, of course. What a nickname that is for a player, the Butcher.
Yeah.
Mieszko Fortunski.
Well, what a talent. And
great lad, though, and a terrific lad, you know.
No, I like him a lot. Yeah, super nice. We played the first time, maybe the second time, in Russia at the Kremlin Cup, but, you know, Dennis Grave is another one that, you know, the attitude sometimes gets the best of him, you know, you could say, and maybe not, but we saw a bit of it in the last match.
Yeah, I was watching it. Yeah. He did. Against Tony Robles, right?
Yeah, and Tony played great. And, you know, if you're going to get upset every time you break and don't get a shot, that's a hard way. It doesn't even seem like you're enjoying the game.
No.
So, and he should and does understand that's just part of it. So, you bury him behind the 9 here, Mark. It looks pretty easy. He can go up table behind the 8 as well.
Nice little draw with a little bit of right hand just to tease it around the back of the 9.
Yeah.
Just like that. Zip it round. Oh, not too much. That's perfect.
Yeah, the 5's got him cut off as well.
Yeah. So I'll leave this one up to you. If we had one of those little drawing screen things, I could get you to draw a nice little picture all over the screen now of exactly where you would go. But you're going to have to describe it, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I don't see much. The 7's got him really cut off, going to the right side rail, top rail, and underneath the 2. He could really bend the cue ball with a masse coming to the his left side of the 9. Don't really see any way to tie a ball up, and this is tough. It's maybe just a heavy masse one way or
Even
another.
the 7 is
That's what I was
the
saying.
3. Yeah, isn't it?
If he goes to the right long rail, the only way to really get at it because of the 6 is from behind, and the 7's got him. This is the way I would try to hit it myself. Heavy masse. Watch out for the scratch, though. Going right by the 7 if he does hit the 2. Yeah, that's what I would have worked. So, almost.
Oh, you called it.
Yeah, well, meanwhile,
But
great
look at
shot.
that. Terrific escape there. And that's one of those safeties that we were talking about earlier. Good safety and then a brilliant reply. Perfect pull.
Yeah, and that's one thing about this format, right? It seems like it's been mainly Zielinski, and we're really a shot or 2 away from the shootout, you know?
It really is an exciting format. And
Yeah.
the crowds love it. You just watch at the venue, the amount of people, as soon as they hear that there's a shootout going on, they all swarm like bees round honey, right?
Yeah, everyone likes to see people dog it, I guess. It doesn't matter the sport. I think the golf tournaments, when they get the tough courses and the guys are making bogeys and doubles, that's when people tune in the most.
Are you a golfer?
If you want to call it that. I play a little bit, but but this format, you know, I had players after the first event say, "Hey, well, yeah, I won 4-0 and lost 4-3, and then so I'm I had 3 games, but I'm splitting sets." Great shot there.
Oh, that was beautiful.
The kid from Lebanon. But that's every. You know, I watch baseball. My team gets 10 hits, another team gets 3, and they beat us. You know, I watch basketball. You know, if you go to points, one team outscores the other in the series by 100 points, but they lose in games 4-3. You know, so all that is relative. Tennis, it happens every day where one player wins more games than the other.
Played the 9 there.
Yeah, but doesn't win the match because, you know, the sets were lopsided on one way or another. So
Yeah.
I don't think we would have sports if it wasn't for formats like that. If we had it to where it was just set up to where the absolute best player won every time, it's not much of a match, right? Not much of a game. So I think in sports you have to find a format to where, you know, it's not, you know, stone gambling. And, you know, a favorite will overcome most of the time, but you have to have a format to where an underdog has a chance. Otherwise, there's just not much to it.
Yeah, and the 4, this is the 4th, of course, the first 3 winners. Federer won in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Wu then in Vegas, I believe.
Yeah, and then Yappin.
And then Yappin, yeah. Oh, nice bit of left-hand English on that. Is he going to sell out? I think he has, yeah.
Yeah, he's sold out here, and Zielinski needs to do it now and end this match. But I think you were getting to that there were still some of the best. Oh, my, he miscued. Miscued there.
Yeah, just...
You were saying that
just lost a little bit of his composure, I think, at the moment, Zielinski.
Yeah, the cream kind of still rose to the top.
Yeah.
But if you look at the entire list of names for the who cashed and the finishes, you're going to probably see a few more of those unexpected names. Maybe not winning, maybe not Final Four, but making runs.
Yeah, yeah, and defeating.
Yeah.
Higher,
and how else
much
are
higher
those
players.
players are going to get better without, you know, putting some wins together and getting some confidence and making some good cashes in events?
Yeah, I love it because we do get the chance to see a lot of players thinking, you know, hang on a minute, I've got a chance at this. 2 races to 4 and a shootout, maybe the worst.
Big shot here. Oh, he kind of floated it. Nice shot.
No, I love that.
So we've seen Berjaoui. He's got a lot of different shots. You know, he's drugged the ball. He's drew the ball a lot of power a few times. Broke the ball as well.
I hope you haven't got a booking for dinner because I think we could be going to a shootout in a minute.
Oh, he caught the 8. Never mind, Mark.
He's got to bank this,
So,
surely.
and the funny thing is, he could have drew above that one row over. Didn't he? Was close enough to the 7. He could have pinched the cue ball a little bit. Maybe a little experience there. Yeah. I think he goes for this one though. I love this overhead on the cross sides. Good
And
effort.
a little wide. So, this then.
This is
Another
not
chance.
easy.
It's not easy, but it's one of them chances that can win you the match, right? There's always one shot.
Yeah, we remember the ones towards the end, don't we?
Yeah.
Now this one here, he's worried about landing on the 10. If he doesn't mind applying a little left English, he should still be able to stay above the 10. Now, the problem is he's had 2 of these, a 2-ball and a 3-ball, I believe it is, that he overcut a long ways on similar shots. He might go into the 10 here, Mark.
Let's see the way we go. He's
He
caught
hit
the
it
8
sweet.
ball beautifully. Where's the cue ball? Oh, he's perfect.
Yeah, and I'm not sure, again, like you said, a little...
And in we go. It's all over. There's a handshake. Jeremy, thank you so much for
Absolutely,
allowing me to
Mark.
come into the booth with you. I hope to do it again someday. See ya.